Zack Snyder's film is here. Zack Snyder's Justice League film is finally here. And is it the greatest superhero film of all time? No. Is it an improvement upon Joss Whedon's film? Yes, it is. And that's what we want. We want an improvement. And I know a lot of people hated the Joss Whedon film, Justice League. They didn't like Steppenwolf. He thought he was a terrible villain. They thought the plotline was too simple. Well, hate to break it to you, the plotline stays the same. Again, if you all don't know this, Zack Snyder had to leave the original film behind because his daughter died. And so Joss Whedon had to take over and to wrap up the story in 2 hours instead of Zack Snyder's 4. Zack Snyder's 4 hours is a lot of fan service, but it also built a lot of character growth, a lot of the character progression. But going back to the story, that is the meat and bones. Like, for me, I didn't hate Joss Whedon's Justice League film. You know why? Because the story stayed the same. The story did not change from Joss Whedon's to Zack Snyder's. There was more detail in Zack Snyder's work. But the overall story, like, oh, Steppenwolf comes to Earth, he's going to terraform the Earth for Darkseid, he needs the 3 mother boxes, Superman is resurrected by the mother boxes, he splits apart them when he needs to, he fights against Steppenwolf. The same plotline is still there, except there's more detail, there's more character progression for Cyborg, for Aquaman, for the Flash, and that's what you needed. That's what this film needed to expand the characters more and to form the relationships with each other. Now, certain things I like what Zack Snyder did over Joss Whedon, and certain things Joss Whedon did better. There's different tones. The Joss Whedon film was more, had a little bit more comedic stuff. Zack Snyder's film is just a serious dark drama. Now, I know a lot of people don't care for Zack Snyder, or like a lot of people love Zack Snyder. I'm in the camp like I love Man of Steel. Hated Dawn of Justice. I don't care. 2 hours, 3 hours, that film was trash. But this film was very good because it built up the characters and it built up the stories around it. Now, again, for the plotline, it's the same plotline. There is no difference. Steppenwolf as a character, he changes a bit. A tiny bit, because he's now talking to Darkseid's apprentice, or like a member of Darkseid's council, and saying like, "Oh, we're looking for the. I'm here. We found the ancient weapon. I'm terraforming the Earth for you," and all that stuff. There are certain things I like about this film, but certain things I do not like. For instance, Darkseid is the one in the Zack Snyder cut to go against the Lanteans, the Amazons, the Men, the Green Lantern, and all that stuff, and he's the one who was defeated, not Steppenwolf. I didn't like seeing the Darkseid defeated because it kind of makes Darkseid look weaker. In a sense, just imagine like if Thanos showed up like in the first Avengers film and you just see him in a flashback getting beaten up. It would kind of take away from this guy you're going to hype up to really, really defeat the Avengers and all that stuff. And it's kind of the same thing how I feel about Justice League. Why even show Darkseid? Show Darkseid just communicating with Steppenwolf. Don't show him like getting beat up. Still have the same plotline. The Steppenwolf was on Earth. He tried to terraform the Earth. He failed Darkseid and he's in exile. Both films he's in exile, except in Joss Whedon's one, he's talking to the mother box like it's Mother. I feel you, Mother. He has a lot more dialogue as in Joss Whedon's film. So if people tell me which one's the better Steppenwolf, I think Joss Whedon's Steppenwolf's better, just because they're both lackeys. They're both lackeys to Darkseid. Steppenwolf's one in Zack Snyder looked cooler, but he was a lackey of Darkseid, and he failed Darkseid. Joss Whedon's one lackey, but he had more dialogue scenes, and he wasn't just all like, "Yes, my master, yes, my master, yes, my master." So Steppenwolf, didn't really care for. He was okay villain. I didn't find him the greatest character around. He's a man who wants to get out of... He's a being that wants to get out of exile, so he's trying to destroy Earth. Not the biggest thing. I say it's a major difference. The major difference to me is Cyborg's storyline. Cyborg's relationship with his father, which is very similar to the Joss Whedon one, because, Cyborg resents his father for making him come back to life. But with this film, Zack Snyder cut, we get Cyborg's relationship with his mother, who he was beforehand, how he's able to work with machines and communications and learn up history was very unique, very different. We get a little bit more scenes of the Flash, which didn't add nothing to his character, but there was more stuff with like Aquaman, how he's torn between the land and the sea, and it kind of further. It's going to be further like developed in Aquaman, a movie, but it was a nicely well done with Aquaman, and he has a good relationship with both Cyborg and the Flash. In some cases, he can understand and respect Cyborg, even though he doesn't trust him fully, and there's a great stuff. With the Joss Whedon cut, there's a lot more comedy stuff, with the whole lasso, Wonder Woman's lasso on Aquaman, that's not in the Snyder cut. I mean, there are certain things that Joss Whedon put in the film, like, hey, the Flash says that I'll just push some people and run away. With Cyborg, there's not really that much. With Snyder's Cut, it's not really all too much comedy stuff. It's more of a serious drama. There's certain things I like, certain things I did not. Like the whole Superman coming back to life thing, I enjoyed in the Zack Snyder Cut. I enjoyed that a lot more, and I know a lot of people didn't care. That was in like the Henry Cavill mustache and the Josh Whedon one. To me, special effects don't matter. This film is a lot more crisp. The special effects are better. The Snyder Cut, it was an improvement upon Justice League, but to me, it wasn't Justice League wasn't a bad film to me. It was just okay. It was like a C plus to me. I gave it a C plus, the original Justice League. This one I want to give like a B plus. This was actually a very good film, and it improved upon the storylines. I really like. You still got the whole Wonder Woman and Batman chemistry with each other. They still have a thing for each other. You could see that. But in this film, they don't have like a conflict of whether or not to bring Superman back. I think that was something that they could have, like Josh Whedon, they could have done a better job with it. But I think it was an important story whether or not we should bring somebody back to life. Alfred has that with Bruce Wayne and Zack Snyder's cut, but Wonder Woman doesn't really disagree with Bruce about whether or not to resurrect Superman, which I think the Josh Whedon thing did better for that conversation of whether or not should we bring someone back to life. So I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the Zack Snyder cut, but I like certain things from the Josh Whedon cut. I'm not saying it was I'm not trying to say if you like the Josh Whedon cut, good for you. If you like the Zack Snyder's cut, good for you. This film to me satisfied me. I think it was a good film. I don't think it was a terrible film, and for 4 hours it didn't feel like a drag. Certain scenes are different from if you look at the Josh Whedon cut, but to me the Snyder cut to me is a different film. I will put these two films separately because they are different. There is a lot more scenes development for certain characters, and people could call this an extended cut, but to me it's not an extended cut. It's shot differently. The special effects are different. There's more development for how it looks and all that. So the overall look is different. The tone is different. There's more character progression. So to me, the Snyder Cut is superior to Josh Whedon's, but it's not a bad film. Do I think it's going to deserve all the praise in the world? No. And going to spoiler territory, they show the Martian Manhunter. He's the general in freaking The Man of Steel. They put him in this one, which I did not like because it kind of raised questions of whether or not, why didn't Martian Manhunter appear to stop Steppenwolf? Why didn't they, when the world's being attacked, why did Martian Manhunter do nothing? Why did now he suddenly appears? Why is the general who's been on Earth all this time since Man of Steel, is he the same general? We have a lot more questions and answers with Martian Manhunter. The whole apocalyptic future with future movie with Darkseid, Lois is the key. I already read and heard about the spoilers for Justice League 2 and what they were going to do with Batman and Superman and Batman's baby. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I am not looking forward to if that was true. But this whole thing at the end of the apocalyptic world with Joker, with Mara, with Cyborg, with the Flash, with evil Superman, I don't know about that. To me, I don't think that part was needed unless you're actually going to do another film of them. But the thing is, I think that plotline is going to be abandoned. Because you never know with the DC Extended Universe. They don't know half the stuff what they want to do. They don't know half the stuff they want to keep. So I don't know if they should have kept it in the Zack Snyder cut. I think you could save 15 minutes on that and cut that as deleted scene. Or potential, alternate thing. But to me, I'm not even sure what's going to be even canon. Because, Cyborg's father does die in this film. But will Cyborg has his father in his film? I mean, there's nothing that's guaranteed. So to me, the Zack Snyder film, better than Josh Whedon's, but it has some questions more. I have a lot more questions that need to be answered, but it is what it is. I don't hate this film. I think it was very good. Other than that, it was a good time. 4 hours. Some people think it was too long. I think the pacing was good. This is one of the better DCEU films you're going to see. So what y'all think, everyone? Do you think this was a great film? Do you think it was a bad film? Do you like the Josh Whedon cut? Do you like the Snyder cut more? Do you like what they did with Cyborg? Do you like what they did with Aquaman? What's your personal opinion? Do you like the character interactions like I did with them? Or do you think that they're completely two different storylines, even though they're technically not? It's just different films. So what y'all think, everybody? You think it was a great film? Bad film? Let me know what y'all think, everyone. My name's Jalise. Alfred, everybody. Bye-bye.